What's up, guys? It's Russo with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and I'm running solo today. Jordy, his internet is down in his area, I think from the snowstorm that just passed through a couple days ago. So there's no status that the provider could give him on when it would be up. So I'm dropping a video here. Sorry I'm running a little bit late. I also had a really busy day, and was just now able to sit down and get some picks together. But we're going to be talking about Wild Card Monday. We have the Rams versus the Vikings tonight, which should be a great game. This was a great battle the last time they played. Ended up coming down. I mean, I feel like it was pretty pivotal when they had a missed face mask call in the last game that was unfortunate. But hopefully we don't have any bad calls like that tonight. But I've got 4 picks for you. And if you may notice the layout looks a little bit different. Jordy and I started our own channels, and so I did not have a Backdoor Fantasy Sports theme with my solo setup, so I'm just using my normal theme for my channel, but still a Backdoor Fantasy Sports show. So yeah, let's talk about the picks that we're going to be getting into, and then we'll talk about some partners and keep everything rolling. So unfortunately, I just wanted to hurry up and get this out for you. So I only have the prize picks plays, but this is generally what I like that you'll probably be able to find on other platforms as well. But typically we cover parlay, play, better, underdog. But for today, kind of in a hurry. So these are the plays I'm rolling with. I'm gonna be going with Jalen Naylor over 1.5 receptions. I like Aaron Jones to go over 84.5 rushing and receiving yards. And if you don't know, that's the running back for the Vikings. Jalen Naylor is a wide receiver for the Vikings. And then my next play is going to be Kiren Williams, running back for the Los Angeles Rams. I like him to go over 2 receptions tonight. And then wide receiver for the Rams, Demarcus Robinson, I like him to go over 5 fantasy score. So yeah, I had mentioned that we started our own channel. So if you haven't followed us yet, make sure you follow us. This is my channel. It's just at JRussoBDFS is my handle. And then I'm posting NBA, NFL. Sometimes I throw in some demon plays. I might try to throw out some demon plays later before the game starts. If you want to go follow me and Jordy, make sure you subscribe over there. And then this is Jordy's channel. It's just at JordyBDFS. Is his handle, and I think that if his internet comes back on, I think he's going to try to drop some plays over on his channel as well. So yeah, go follow both of our channels. And then real quickly, let's talk about the partners. We've got Chalkboard. Use code BACKDOOR at Chalkboard, and they're going to give you a 100% deposit match up to $100 and a free pick to help you cash your first slip. Underdog, use code BACKDOOR at Underdog. You're going to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick to help you cash your first slip as well. We're on Sleeper, code BACKDOORFS. So for Sleeper, make sure you throw the FS on the end there, and they're going to give you a 100% deposit match. It's good to diversify the platforms you're on. So we have a special deal with Parlay Play though. If you use code BACKDOOR at Parlay Play, they're going to give you a 100% deposit match up to $100, and you're going to get a $5 free slip. So you make a full slip that they're going to give you, and then on top of that, we're going to give you a month in our premium Discord. So if you want to take advantage of that, make sure you use the code. If you don't put the code in, and double check, make sure when you're making your first deposit, you're throwing that code in. If it doesn't prompt you for a code, it's not going to work. So just make sure you do a little bit of extra work. Make sure you're putting the code in there, Backdoor, and then email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com, and we will just confirm that the code was used, and then we will get you in the Discord. It takes less than 24 hours for us to confirm. So, and then for better, you get a $200 deposit match and a free pick to help you cash your first slip. Just use code BACKDOOR, and they're going to hook you up. So we got the partners covered. Let's start talking about the plays. Jalen Naylor, we took him in that last game, and his demon ended up cashing. It worked out solid. He's a solid player. I was thinking about taking the fantasy score, which you can take if you want at 4.5, because he does get red zone looks, but he's the third option as far as wide receivers go. But I think in this matchup tonight, he's going to get at least 2 catches. That's what we're aiming for here. That's why I pivoted from the fantasy score to the 2 receptions. I think I just like it just a little bit better. 1.5 isn't asking too much. If we take a look at the matchup here, somewhat tough. 3rd in receptions allowed to wide receivers. LA has cleaned up, their defense a little bit through the back half of the season, but I think he can get 2 for us with all the attention that Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are going to be getting. Naylor's pretty exceptional as a 3rd option there. If we take a look at the head-to-head, I don't think he did. So he went for 2 in that last matchup on October 24th. So yeah, not like too much to break down for this one. He had 4 targets in that game and he pulled down 2 of them. So 4 targets is solid. The reason I was considering the fantasy score is because he gets more red zone looks than you would expect. And he's pretty competent. So in his limited play, if you take a look there, he's got 6 touchdowns on the year for someone who doesn't really get that much work. But Kevin O'Connell he runs a great offense and he gets his guys in good opportunities, even if they're not playing as many snaps. So you could take a look at the fantasy score if you like it better. But I'm going to probably just, maybe I'll throw this in a slip too. But I think for the most part, my favorite is this 1.5 receptions. Might take a look and see if there is a receptions demon as well. So yeah, he looks like he's hit the fantasy score more than he's hit the receptions, but that's because sometimes he'll get 1 catch for 1 touchdown. So go with your gut, whichever of the 2 you like better. So if we take a look here, Daily Grind likes the receptions the best as well. 1.5. They have that at a 51.19% odds to hit the over, -122. And kind of mixed emotions. We got BetMGM all the way up at a -135, and then DraftKings has it at a 50-50 shot, -115. So go with your gut. They also like his targets over 2.5. I mean, it's set to the over, but that's it's actually a 50-50 shot. They have it at 50% on the dot, and then they just are barely favoring the fantasy score to go under. So go with your gut. I like both plays, but yeah, I think if he hits the fantasy score, chances are it's going to be with him grabbing 2 receptions along the way. All right, so let's move on. Actually, we haven't taken a look at this over-under yet. We have a 47.5 point over-under. We're playing in Los Angeles, so we know we're indoors. Should be actually solid. I'm kind of like thinking I might throw both kickers into some lineups because they didn't cash for us last time we took this. Our last time these 2 matched up, I remember I took Riker, I think his name is, the kicker for the Minnesota Vikings, and I thought he was just going to crush his fantasy score, and they didn't really kick that many field goals in that game. But it's playoffs, so they play a little bit more conservatively in like, I would say like 60-70% of the time, they're just going to take the points unless one of these teams are playing from behind, like we saw last night where Washington had multiple opportunities to take field goals, but they're like, you know what, this is too important. We want to go for the gold here. But I do think that teams tend to just take the points and rely on their kickers a little bit more in playoff situations like this, which it's a wild card game. It's basically like playoffs, all right, so Aaron Jones, I love this rushing and receiving yards. This is his head-to-head matchup here. We're getting it. It was at 83.5. I think it's up to 84.5 now on Prize Picks. But he's cleared this both times he's matched up against them. That last game, October 24th, he went for 95 combined yards. I thought his receiving yards looked good too. If I'm going to take either of these, it's going to be the combination or the receiving alone. I think the receiving's at like 21.5 last I checked, so that's not too bad because the matchup is great. 21st in rushing yards allowed, 19th in receiving yards allowed. We also have Cam Akers, who is dealing with a little bit of an illness, so might not be totally at 100%. He's listed as questionable, but the reporting is that he's going to play through whatever he's dealing with. But still, on top of the fact that it's a playoff game and Aaron Jones is probably going to see more snaps than he normally would, I would expect a little bit less of a timeshare. But also, when your most competent backup is actually dealing with a little bit of an illness, I just like the snaps for Aaron Jones. I think that they're going to, probably play it somewhat safe. And I think that the Rams are going to be more focused on stopping Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison than they are Aaron Jones, although I'm sure they're going to be aware that Aaron Jones is solid. But anyways, I like him to get this done. If we take a look at, let's see what he's been doing here on a different sample size. So 50-50 shot, or I mean, it's not a 50-50 shot, but he's hit it 50% of the time over the last 10 games. If we go to the last 5, he's been knocking on the door. So he's cleared 3 of them. This is at the 83.5. So again, we've got it at 84.5. But yeah, he's well within this range. Even these last 2 games, he went for 77 and 75. So I feel good about him being a big part of what they're doing. I also might take a look at his fantasy score just in case he gets in the end zone. But he's only cleared that 2 out of the last, man, is it really only at 14? I mean, the thing is like the reason I'm more leaning towards just the rushing and receiving yards is if we go over here to touchdowns, the Rams are pretty good, I think, at stopping running backs from getting in. So yeah, 15th in touchdowns allowed, and then 4th in touchdowns allowed to running backs. So the matchup just makes me, I mean, did he get in the end zone last time? No, last time they matched up, he did not get in the end zone, but he still cleared those yards. So I'm thinking I like the rushing and receiving yards the best out of everything. So that's what I'm going to be rolling. If we take a look here at Daily Grind for this play, they like his receptions over 3. You could go with that. Rush attempts, they like that. That's looking solid to me too at 14.5, especially the situation with Cam Akers. So they have that at 50.37% odds to hit the over. Let me just refresh this. And then we got his targets. So I don't think they like the rushing and receiving yards because they just got bumped. Man, they don't like the receiving yards over 21.5 either. I like that. They have that as his top under. Go with your gut as always. You guys know that about our show. It's like we're here to try to help, but you guys got to make your own decisions on what you're putting in your lineup. But 84.5, you can see some of these are all the way down to 81.5. So they're just, the optimizer is saying like, it's noticing like, hey guys, this is more expensive on Prize Picks. They don't recommend it at 84.5 when you can get it at 81.5 somewhere else. But I'm not scared off of that. I still think he's going to be over 90 is what I'm aiming for here. Once again, let me just show you the head-to-head. So yeah, the head-to-head looks great, 99 and 95. And then that was with, we're in a situation now where they don't have Cam Akers at 100%. So go with your gut. I like it to go over. All right, so Kiren Williams receptions. I love this at 2. And he's in a similar situation. We've got Blake Corum is on injured reserve now. And on top of that, it's a really important game. So they're going to give him a ton of snaps. This is why they've been somewhat managing his workload all year, is to give him just a monster amount of snaps over this stretch. So you can see Outlier already has the 1.5 line at 137, minus 137. So they think it's going over. But he went for 3 in that last game against Arizona. Here's what I love. Last time they matched up, he went for 5, and that was with Blake Corum available. So he had 7 targets, 5 receptions. They are 31st in receptions allowed. We know they're somewhat of a pass funnel defense, the Vikings. And then for running backs, a little bit tougher, 11th in receptions allowed, but we just saw him go for 5. So we only need 3 for this to cash, or 2 for it to push. So I love this play. I was looking at a lot of different options for Kiren, but everything's pretty inflated, but they're keeping those receptions down at 2. I'm sure they know something we don't. It's, you know what I mean? Like, of course they know something we don't, but I feel good about him going over 2 receptions tonight. Let's take a look at Daily Grind. They have the receptions as his best play. They have it at a 52, well, his best over. They have it at a 52.39% odds to hit the over, minus 128. And man, these platforms that are giving it to us at at 1.5, like FanDuel, minus 182, minus 180, minus 190, minus 206, like so heavily juiced. So that half point bump up to 2, I'll still take it because I think he's going to go for at least 3. All right, let's see here. Moving on. Last play, Demarcus Robinson. I love this fantasy score. Last time they played, we still had a healthy Puka Nacua. We had a healthy Cooper Kupp. at least healthy enough to play. And Demarcus Robinson went for 17.5 fantasy score. He's been, he missed a little bit of time dealing with some injury, but he's back, and he's back in the mix. And he's very capable of getting more than 5 fantasy score. So let's take a look at the receptions here. So yeah, this last game against the Seahawks, he had 3 receptions, and then was out for a while. But I mean, full point PPR. Let's see, in that last matchup, he only had 2 receptions, so he must have grabbed a couple of touchdowns to make that fantasy score so huge. Let's take a look here. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns in that game. We know that he's a great physical receiver, super athletic. He's got so much attention being drawn off of him from Puka Nacua, Kiren Williams even, and Cooper Kupp. So he is the third man, and he gets his snaps. I expect him to, so he had 35 yards on just the 2 catches. So 5 fantasy score, there's so many ways he could get this done. If he just gets us to 3 receptions, we're probably at 5 fantasy score. So the matchup is sweet. 31st in receiving yards allowed to wide receivers. And then let's take a look at the receptions. We know that the Vikings are super soft against wide receivers. 32nd in receptions allowed. And then just for fun, let's look at the touchdowns. 18th in touchdowns allowed to wide receivers. So let Puka, let all those guys with the heavily inflated lines, let them just grab all the attention. I know Puka will get his, but his lines are so high right now. And I think that the Vikings are going to be very focused on Puka. So I will take this Demarcus Robinson 5 fantasy score all day. Let's take a look here. Daily Grind likes it to go over. It's not heavily juiced, just at a 50.47% odds to hit the over. But we're getting it at 5 on Prize Picks. And we got some platforms bumping it up to 5.6. And some down to 4.9, but for the most part, I'll take 5. Especially, we've talked about it a lot, but Prize Picks is full PPR, so that means every catch that anybody gets, they get a full point for it. So 3 catches puts us at 3 points already. Plus, if he's averaging like 10 yards a catch, which we know he's more of a downfield type of guy, not like super deep threat, but he's not like a little dink and dunk guy. So 10 yards a catch would get us at 6 right there. Let's just take a look here in this last game, what he averaged. I know it's going to be pretty high. Yeah, 17.5 yards per reception. Let's test it. Let's go to the whole 2024 season, see what he averages. 17.4 yards per reception, exactly what I was saying. That's what he does, around that 20 yards a catch type of deal for Demarcus Robinson. So yeah, give me 2 catches, we could cash this. Give me 3 catches, we're absolutely cashing this. If it gets into the end zone, we're going to crush it. I wish they made demons for fantasy score lines. That would be a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, that's going to cover all of the plays for today. We have been super busy, and it's been crazy with like wild card weekend and everything. So we haven't been putting out as much content for like NBA, but we are going to be getting back to it. I promise you, we should be back to our normal schedule tomorrow. So if you guys want to come join our Discord community, you can take advantage of that parlay play promo and use code BACKDOOR and shoot us an email, and we will get you in here. Sorry, it's loading kind of slow. I'm asking my computer to do a lot. But yeah, use that code. And if you want to just jump right in, you just sign up through Patreon. Let me go down here to it. Sign up through Patreon. They manage our subscriptions. It's $12.99 a month. We brought the price down, wanted to make it like super affordable for you guys. So less than 50 cents a day. You just go into the settings on Patreon once you've signed up, and then you go into the connected apps option in the menu bar, and you log right in straight from there, and you're good to go. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Good luck. And if you guys don't mind, do us a favor and like the video if you appreciate the support, or if you appreciate the content we're putting out. Show us a little bit of support. You press one button and it goes a long way for us. So we appreciate you. Don't forget to come follow us on our personal channels. We'll be dropping more plays. I think Jordy's going to try to put some plays out, so go check out Jordy's page at Jordy BDFS. And then I'm going to see if I can put together a demon slip to go share over there as well, at JRusso BDFS. Good luck, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.